Hey guys, it's Amia Foxina, and this is part two of part three. Last time I had to stop recording because I didn't have enough storage space to edit everything into one video. So, yeah, this is what we're doing. This is part two. All right, everybody. So, crisis averted. So, the other thing about that was, yeah, make sure your coloring is at 100% opacity. And also, another thing with layers is line art, top layer, coloring, layer underneath it. And you probably should have multiple layers for your different colors. I'll have like the skin or the fur on one layer, and then the clothes on another layer, and like, if they're wearing a jacket, that the whole jacket, the coloring will be one layer, and if they're wearing a shirt underneath it, that shirt will be another layer, and then the hair will also be another layer, and then the eye is another layer in of itself. So, yeah, lots of layering. So, the thing I was saying before, my character, she used to have this really, really bright, sucky and terrible to look at outfit where it was just like a t-shirt that was bright lilac purple, and then shorts, like basketball shorts, that were just bright cyan. And it was really, really annoying to look at because, go back. Because it was really bright, like the colors were really bright, and it looked like something that you would never, ever wear. So, when I redesigned my character recently, I gave her an outfit that I actually own, which is the shirt, the jacket, and some real jean shorts. And I'm actually wearing the shirt right now and the shorts that go with them. So, yeah, that's cool. And I actually worked in the old outfit that she had into her current story, where that was the outfit she wore when she was a teen. So yeah. And the way I draw jackets, or color in jackets, is you have the base color, which is this color, and then the hoodie is slightly darker, or like the hood part, if there's a hood part, that color is slightly darker, and then the inside of the jacket is even darker, so it's like almost black. And I usually don't draw like I don't know what they're called. You know when you have like a sleeve, and then it's got like this bit at the end? Yeah, I don't normally draw that. I just have it end, even though that's not really how jackets work. Although then again, what part of this character is grounded in reality? So yeah, I'm gonna color in her jacket, and I'll be back. Bye. Alright, so that is the jacket done. Now the next thing that I'm gonna do is her, shirt. And, since the base color, the white part, is really, really close to white, I'm gonna turn on here. Now that's one important thing. When you're designing a character, there shouldn't be parts of them that are jet black or complete white. You should use colors that are close, but never quite completely white or black. Now, the reason why is because having colors that are close and not exactly there is much more realistic and makes the character seem, it pops more. Like, there are some exceptions, like if you're having a really, really cartoony style, or if it's something you're really adamant about, or it's a main trait of the character, or if you're just lacking in art supplies. It's completely fine. However, when I draw characters, usually the only part of them, the only parts of them that I keep pure white are the teeth and the whites of the eyes. Especially if it's clothes, because, usually pure white clothes just aren't a thing. I'm not sure why. They just aren't. And, another part for reasoning why I do this is because the actual shirt that her outfit is based on, the stripes are this really dark gray, But in reality, they change, like they go in a gradient from this dark gray to a really light gray. I don't incorporate the gradient because I have this really cartoony style. That's the wrong gray. This one. Yeah. And also, in reality, the stripes are much closer together and much thinner. But again, because I have a more cartoony style, and the character of Foxina is supposed to be really animation friendly, because I plan on making her backstory into an animated series on my YouTube channel. And I also plan on animating her a lot in the future. So when I designed her, I wanted to make it simple, yet still appealing, I guess. Like, I didn't want to make it seem like I was being lazy, but I didn't want to try and murder myself while I'm animating her. Sirens. So, yeah. Pure colors are bad. And especially if you're doing, like, really high detailed work, if you're going to have a really dark color, you shouldn't make it black. You should make it, like, a light brown or something like that. That's one of the main rules of art, especially with shading, is never, ever, ever shade with black. There are exceptions, like if you have a comic book type style, or if your intention is to make the character look dirty, which is what shading with black usually does to characters. I'm out of breath for whatever reason. So next I'm going to do the hair. And as I said before, these colors are really desaturated. And I won't get into why her hair is so unnaturally colored, but it's basically because, or I won't get too much into it, but it's basically because her mom had her eyes in the same colors, and that's because she was basically a god of stars. It's kind of complicated. She's not really a god of stars, except it's just that the people that she ruled over, because she was like a queen, thought her magic was related to stars. It's hard to understand. This doesn't really make Foxina overpowered because she doesn't really use her magic. The only magic that she uses is her color magic, which is the blue magic that you see in my intro. It's basically Sans, except it's actually fire, and not like I mean, in the game, Sans' eye just glows. It doesn't spit fire, and I'm getting on a tangent, but whatever. So yeah. Well, you just fill it in with a bucket, and then you go in and color in all the little dots with a paint tool. And then later, I will show you how I texture the hair. Usually, people will tell you shouldn't texture hair if you have a cartoony style. But, I usually do it not to a huge extent. Like, I don't draw individual hairs, but I do give it some texture, you know? Well, I mean, I do kind of draw individual hairs, but I don't draw individual hairs when I'm drawing like this. When I actually draw, the button to go multi-screen is on the side where my hand is, because I'm right-handed, and the button is on the right of the screen. It's kind of frustrating. But then again, I'm not drawing on an actual drawing tablet. I'm drawing on a literal Android tablet, so not really their fault. So yeah, that is the hair done. So now I'm gonna move on to the eye. So, the eye is one of the harder parts about, drawing. Wait. So first I'm going to fill in the white of the eye. So, yeah. That's good. And one thing I do when I'm doing the whites of the eye is I like to shade it a little bit, but I consider this part of coloring. So I take this color that's blue, not this color, this color. It's this color blue, that's really, really light, but not too light. So what I do is I make sure it's clipped on. That basically what clipping does is it makes sure that that layer, whatever you draw on this layer, only shows up in a colored area in the layer underneath. Like, like this. Although that's not really a good example because that layer is underneath everything. Okay, let me demonstrate. So here I have this color, and it's scribbled. If I clip the next layer over it and pick another color, then it only shows up there. And I actually really like that color scheme. I'm going to... Hold on a second. I'm just gonna, like, save this here. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. But okay. Oh, wait, I forgot. I did it wrong. There you go. So now I'm just ignore this bit, as I really like this color scheme, and I'm gonna save it for later. I don't know what that layer is. Okay, sorry for that. What was I doing again? Oh yeah, eyes. So, I take the color that is blue, and masked over the white, I just fill in here. You can make it be a lot or a little. It doesn't really matter. Something I used to do is erase around the edges, like this. But I didn't like how the color was looking, and I decided it was just extra work, so I stopped doing it. And then I like to put the layer at exactly 28 opacity. I like how that looks. Sometimes I make it a little bit brighter. Doesn't really matter. And then after that, I push down the layer, or like merge the two layers. And then another layer for the actual eye color. And then here is this. Oh wait, the eyelashes. Okay. I am all over the place. So I take a color that's close to black, the same color as the stripes, and I fill in the eyelashes. Not that difficult. Oh god, what did I do? Oh wait, no, I didn't do anything. Okay, I forgot it was underlayer underneath. Pretty self-explanatory. So here now the layer is showing, I'm going to pick the color for her eyes. These are the colors I have for the eyes. And, here. I draw her eyes elliptical most of the time, but sometimes I will just draw them as straight up circles. Bless me. I burped. Oh. So here is the base for her eye. Now what I do with the eye is there's a lot of detail work. So first a clip, and then I get this really dark color. Not this color yet. Wait. This color. And I put in the iris, and I put this here. And then I take my blender, low opacity, not that low, and blend. Uh-oh. I missed a spot. There we go. There we go. And then I blend it. And I go over this. I need to change my brush to an airbrush. And, oh, no. And I go over this a few more times. That's too big. And I'll just keep going and going until I feel like I have enough color. Yeah, the blending tool in this app is pretty iffy. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. Alright, I feel like that's good. So I'm going to make another layer, and this, since it's clipped, and the layer below is also clipped, both layers will show up on this layer. Oh god. But if you unclip this, then the layer here will only show up on this layer. It can be complicated at sometimes. So I'm going to change my brush back to soft brush, which is the one I use all the time, because I like how soft, how the line art and the it kind of looks soft because it has this and it's like fuzzy. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh god, no. I just scrolled everywhere. Stop it. Stop. And then I get this darker color. And this is going to be her iris. See? Perfecto. And then I get another layer above that. And I change back to the airbrush. I use the triangle brush. And I put that here. And around the edges. And I actually don't blend it. I usually keep it there. And if it's too dark, I just lower the opacity. I like how it is. I'm just going to lower it a bit. And then once again, but this time I'm going to make another layer, but I'm going to put it below the iris. Then I'm going to get this light color and lighten up the bottom of the iris just a little bit. And then I'm going to make another layer above everything. Oh god. No, go away. And I'm going to make it a smaller brush. And I'm just going to lighten up the bottom. And very slightly blend it over the iris. Yeah, there we go. That is looking nice. Oh god, I can't breathe. Okay. So then after that, sometimes I'll add another detail where it's white. Well, yeah. And, you keep it here. I forget how you do this. I haven't done it in a while. Large spot here. That's too big. Large spot here. Another spot here. I don't do this type of detailing often in eyes because sometimes I don't like the way it looks, but other times it looks nice. So just dots only around the iris. And then you take the blending, make it big, really low opacity, and blend it until it looks good. And then slightly smaller, higher opacity, and you blend the top. Yeah. I do that sometimes. I don't do it all the time. You can see the difference here. I'm going to keep it because I like how it looks here. And then up here on another layer, I have white. That's just going to be pure white. These are highlights. The way I do it is I have that's still airbrush, wrong. I change it again. I have a highlight up here, which is where the main light source is. The light source is here, or here, but slightly more toward the camera. It's like slightly behind the camera, and then really way to the side. Camera is where the viewing is. And then I have another light here, and then 2 dots. And then what I do, because it has some pretty harsh edges, is I'll lower the opacity, big light, you got the blur, and zoom, make it bigger, zoom, no, too big, zoom. This look, where it's just barely blended, I really like this look for highlights, because it looks like it's an actual light source, and it's not just painted onto the eyeball. So, get rid of this. So yeah, that's it for the eyeball. And then what you don't want to take a layer that's not clipped and merge it down to a layer that is clipped, because then it unclips this layer, and then it messes things up. So yeah. So I'm just going to merge all these layers down to where they need to be. Yeah, I'm just going to merge all these layers down to where they need to be. And fantabulistic. That is glory fantastic. Why am I so out of breath? I don't know. So yes, this is the base coloring. If this was like a person, I would add gradients to the skin to show blush. But since this is an animal, I don't really usually put gradients on Foxina for her coloring. I used to gradient her hair, but I didn't like how it looked because the colors didn't blend very seamlessly. Because, you know, when you transition from, I think it's, well, I don't know. I think the color order I had, like the right fade, it didn't work. Like, it's supposed to go blue, purple, then pink. That's how it is on the color on the color, I think. Yeah. That's how it is on the color wheel. It goes from blue to purple to pink. So when I tried to blend the colors, there was another color that showed up in between them, and I didn't like how it looked, so I stopped blending them. And also, I couldn't get a defined shape with the hair. Or, I couldn't get a defined shape in the middle of the hair when I blended, so I stopped doing it. But, yeah. So this is the end of the coloring video. Next video, shading. Bless me. See y'all later. Bye-bye.